I don't know about you, but I have found myself in situations or circumstances when the worst case scenario became reality. It wasn't just a matter of asking myself, I wonder what would happen if this had happened, because the this had actually occurred. The worst thing that I could have imagined had actually occurred. I know somebody here understands what I'm talking about. You wondered, but you didn't have to wonder anymore because you were in the midst of that storm right then and there. You thought it could just be clouds on the horizon, but it was not just clouds. The tornado actually came and was blowing your house down. Somebody today has been there. I believe that there might be somebody here today who's there right now. Somebody might even be wondering whether God has forgotten all about them. Why is he letting me go through this? Why am I having this much trouble? Why am I having this much difficulty? You may even be wondering, what good is my faith? And I've even heard some people say, what good is God? I know we don't like to admit it, but sometimes our backs get pressed up against the wall so hard that we lose our faith. We don't just doubt, but we turn away from the Lord, turn away from church, turn away from our upbringing, turn away from everything that we've been taught. Well, the prophet Isaiah in today's text wanted to assure his people that God had not forgotten them, and that he has some divine comfort in their present situation. I believe that just as God wanted to give them a ray of hope several hundred years ago, that he also wants us to receive hope today. Well, when we look at our text, the prophet shares some words, some phrases, and these are from God. These phrases are things that we should remember when we are feeling like we cannot make it, when we can't go on, when the difficulties of life are too hard to bear. The first phrase we find in that very first verse, I want to draw your attention to two words. Isaiah says in verse 1, but now. But now. You know, with God, there is always a but now. Because if you think about it, the worst has already happened. You've already lost your job. You've already been told by the doctor that you have this terrible disease or you have this problem. Your child is locked up in jail. You don't have any money in the bank. You don't know whether your car is going to make it from home to job because you can't put any money in the gas tank. But God says, when you're in that situation, I want you to hear these words. But now. I've learned that with God, there is always a but now. What you talking about, Brother Lassiter? Well, I've learned that God always has a new perspective beyond the situation that we're already in. Let me remind you that the children of Israel had their backs up against a Red Sea. Pharaoh's army was coming down on them, but now, Moses, I want you to lift your rod. When they thought that all hope was lost, there was a but now situation. You probably heard about the 3 Hebrew boys who were thrown in a fiery furnace. Somebody thought that they were going to burn up, but now somebody looked in and they said, I see that there's a 4th man in the furnace. I thought we only placed 3 in there, but now I see 4. You know about the woman who was about to be stoned because she had been accused of adultery. But now Jesus stepped in and said, you who's without sin, cast the first stone. Then there were the disciples who were out on a stormy sea, afraid that they were going to be tossed and driven. But now, who comes walking across the stormy sea? Jesus. And his but now moment for the disciples was to speak a word. Be still. I'm here to tell you that when God steps into your impossible situation, listen for the words, but now, because he can speak peace to any storm that's in your life. You simply have to understand that whatever you're going through, he said in his word, weeping endures only for a night, but wait until morning comes. Because that will be a but now moment for you in the morning, because that's when joy comes. Sounds like that might be a witness for me out there. Know that within every situation, every sickness, every storm, every defeat, every loss, every failure that you might be going through, God has an answer. I'm letting that sink in. I don't care how bad it seems, sounds, or feels, God has an answer. Hold on to your faith. Trust in the Lord. Lean not to your own understanding of your situation, but in all your ways and in every situation, acknowledge that he knows all, he can do all, he holds all power in his hand, he can fix every situation, he can turn the wrong things right side up. If you're all messed up, he can straighten you out. Just wait for your but now moment. A little later on in this same chapter, the prophet said that those who wait upon the Lord will mount up with wings. Have some new strength. You'll be able to walk and run. And those things that ordinarily happen to us, you get tired, you get weary, they're not going to happen to you. You can keep on running this race. You'll be just like Paul. He said, I press towards the mark, because I've been called by Jesus, and I'm going to keep on running this race. Amen? Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm going to wait until my change comes. It doesn't matter how bad the situation is. I'm going to wait for my but now moment from the Lord. I'm going to listen for him to say, you've been tolerating it. You've been dealing with it. I know you've been suffering with it, Brother Ralph, but now I'm going to fix it for you. But now I'm going to straighten it out for you. But now I'm going to pick you up. But now I'm going to give you the comfort that you need. But now I'm going to give you some peace in your life. But now I'm going to give you some joy. But now I'm going to let you understand that you can make it no matter what you're going through. Remember that you're going to have a but now.